will to the development and growth of our country. We commend the various sectors of our economy, which include the taxi industry, bus industry, and freight industry, for their principled rejection of the EFF overtures aimed at paralyzing the economy. The response by citizens, the taxi and freight industry, is an example of what a social compact can yield. We'll continue to forge deliberate social compacts with various role players in our communities to ensure that we collectively respond to the challenges which afflict our communities, or put differently, the challenges that diminish our human rights. The ANC joins South Africans from all walks of life who have condemned this so-called shutdown in the strongest possible terms. These attempts at insurrection and overthrow of a democratically elected president from a party that has garnered a mere 10.8% of the national vote must be exposed for what they are. Our people should not be hoodwinked into supporting anarchy and violence under the pretext of service delivery. We call on all South Africans not to heed this call that seeks to reverse the gains of our democracy at the altar of expediency to advance narrow political ends. Following the 55th National Conference of the ANC, we released our resolutions which outline key and immediate tasks arising from conference and articulated in the 2023 January 8 statement. And these tasks, number 1, is fixing load shedding and electricity crisis. Focus on service delivery. Grow jobs and the economy through investment and small business support. Deal with crime and corruption. Deepen renewal of the ANC and build a better world and Africa. We are therefore seized with the task of implementing these resolutions aimed at addressing the most pressing challenges facing our people. To this end, the ANC recognizes that it has become exceedingly urgent for it to intensify its work, reinforce its relevance, capability, and credibility so that it continues to be an effective instrument of transformation. This year's State of the Nation address, as well as budget speech, outlines how the ANC-led government is resourcing the outlined priority areas. The ANC is also mobilizing its structures to engage and support communities and encourage their direct contribution towards finding solutions to these challenges. In the coming weeks, we will unveil a program of action which will ensure that our branches are at the center of communities and at the forefront of service delivery to implement ANC resolutions. Though it is still early days, the ANC welcomes positive spin-offs that are starting to show from implementation of the Energy Action Plan. We also note that ESCOM projection made on the 22nd January 2023 has materialized. ESCOM made a projection to the effect that the energy availability factor will increase from 58% to 70% towards the end of March 2023, and that has exactly happened. We have no doubt that the relevant authorities will ensure that these improvements are sustained and lead to a continuous reduction and eventual end of load shedding. We wish to reiterate that we will not be sidetracked from the important task of implementing our electoral mandate and continuously improving service delivery in order to make a better life for all, a lived reality by those who are mainly motivated by political opportunism, adventurism, intolerance, undemocratic behavior, dictatorial tendencies, delusions of grandeur, and an attempt to bully citizens who do not agree with them. And that is what this South Africa is all about. And this is what we stand for with all the citizens of our country. And we appreciate the fact that in the rejection of this attempt to shut down the economy and the country, it was rejected by majority of our people. And for once, across the political divide, and the working class of our people, and the people went on with their business as usual. Those who had to go to holidays went to holidays. Those who enjoyed their time wherever they were, they did, exploiting the fact that it was a long weekend. Law enforcement did their job. 530 or plus people were arrested on attempts of anarchy. So don't tell us a story that there was no violence. The previous night here in Braamfontein, there were attempts of violence, hoodwinking students and everyone else to get into acts of violence. Those were thoroughly suppressed by law enforcement, including in Durban, sporadic activities around the country. When the sun rose, the narrative changed from violence to peaceful march. There was no peaceful march. The attempt was to shut down the country. The taxi industry and everybody else in our country rejected that. It did not materialize. If there were people who were supporting the shutdown, are those we saw marching in Pretoria, including to the gates of Brantirio. The majority of our people did not join those activities. We saw sporadic small activities across the country. Law-abiding citizens said, never again will we be part of anarchy in our country. We saw what anarchy did, shut down small businesses in Soweto. And we have said as the ANC that any form of shutdown will not affect anyone else but the poorest of the poor, and in particular small businesses in our country. There are people who closed their shops because they were afraid that they can be attacked, and they did not do business on a holiday. And it affected the hawkers who did not come out at work to come and work because they were afraid to be attacked, because they were given notices by the EFF. They were given notices by the EFF not to come to work. If you organize a people's revolution, it must be embraced by the people. You don't coerce them and bully them that they must join you. They join voluntarily because they believe in the cause you are taking up on their behalf. So that has failed in our country. So as I conclude, Somlom, it is important for us to react to this because this was the most important and most talked about and the most threatening activity to the economy of our country. And it is no small feat in any way. We didn't call for a shutdown. A political party did, which is represented in parliament. We didn't call for that. And don't come and tell us what should we react to. Don't tell us what should we react to. We're a political party in this country. If the ANC goes this direction, and political parties come and react to the ANC and load shedding and all of that, we don't dictate what must happen by who, when, what time. So I think the ANC deserves all the right to express its view in relation to what was politically threatening our democracy, flourishing democracy in our country. It doesn't mean people don't have demands, don't have concerns. They do. They do have concerns, and they must raise those concerns with the democratic government. So thank you very much for affording us a space and opportunity to react conclusively with our view on these particular developments. Thank you very much.